Good day, doctor. We are from Group 5. Our members are AMIRA, NADIA, Gojiki, XING, Lolisin, and NURUL NADIA. So next. So we would like to present the definition of drying, equilibrium moisture content, drying rate, rolling rate, and industrial equipment in this presentation. Firstly, drying is a method to remove moisture of a material through evaporation by supplying of heat. The purpose of drying process is to preserve food by inhibiting microorganism activities, its transportation cost, and cost of packaging. Hygroscopic material is a material that absorbs water molecule from surrounding, while non-hygroscopic material is a material that do not absorb water molecule from surrounding. Next. For equilibrium moisture content, also known as EMC, a graph of relative humidity with the unit of percentage against moisture content in solid with the unit of mass of water per mass of dry solid is plotted to determine whether the material used is hygroscopic material or non-hygroscopic material. The important terms that we need to learn is bound moisture, unbound moisture, and free moisture. For bound moisture, it is referred to the water which bound to solid and it exerts vapor pressure lower than that of pure liquid water at same temperature. While for unbound moisture, it refers to the excess moisture present in solid where wet solid exerts vapor pressure equal to the pure liquid at same temperature. For free moisture, it refers to the total moisture that has been removed until the wet solid reach equilibrium with surrounding relative humidity. EMC is measured by exposed material to air. So we can conclude from the graph that non-hygroscopic material, which is non-soluble water material, has lower EMC when compared to the soluble water material, which has higher EMC. So, thanks. Next.
This is the graph for the drying rate. For point A to B is a preheating period. The wet solid is preheated and the moisture is evaporated at an increasing rate until point B. The exposed surface of solid is still covered by a film of free moisture. For point B, it represents the equilibrium temperature condition of the product surface, and section BC is the constant rate period, represent the removal of unbound water from the product. The water acts as the solid is not present. The surface of the product is very wet and the water is equal to 1, the activity. Drying rate is constant where free moisture always covers the exposed surface. Rate of evaporation equal to the rate of movement of the water from wet solid to the exposed surface. The drying rate is controlled by the external mass and heat transfer between exposed surface and bulk gas. Termination of this period is called critical moisture content, which is point C, because there are insufficient moisture content in solid to maintain a constant moisture film on the exposed surface.
Okay, for the falling rate, it has two stages. At the first stage is from C and D, while the second stage is from D and E from the graph. At the first stage, the drying rate starts to decrease when solid has reached a critical moisture content. The exposed surface are partially wet because there is not enough moisture that can be transported from within the wet solid to keep the entire exposed surface moist. At the second stage of falling rate period, there are increased drop in drying rate. The moisture continues to evaporate until the surface is completely dry. And this evaporation continues until moisture content of solid is in equilibrium with surrounding drying air, which means it has reached EMC. At this rate, the drying rate now is 0, and the internal diffusion of moisture is control the drying rate.
Alright, so now we look at the first equipment, that is rotary dryer. First, we look at the advantages. Rotary dryer is continuous production and it leads to the larger production capacity. Also, it is low cost required due to it provide lower fluid resistance. Okay, then we look at the another advantages, which is rotary dryer change in fluid direction and it won't affect the quality of product. On the other hand, for the disadvantages, rotary dryer provide large area of equipment construction. Also, the equipment is difficult to be removed if we want to change to another place. Rotary dryer also require high maintenance costs. Then we look at the mocking principles. Once the wet material is fed into the equipment, the hot gas is then supplied by heating furnace. Second, during rotating of dryer, the hot gas and material tend to move downward due to gravitational force. And for the moisture and impurities are then removed through cyclone. And finally, we can get the final product. So next, we'll look at the drum dryer. Actually, it have the same working principle with rotary dryer. So we look at the advantages. Drum dryer provide continuous production, large production capacity, and also simple structure. On the other hand, it also have these advantages, which is large space for equipment installation, and also for the installation is difficult and time consuming. It also require high maintenance costs. For industrial application, it is suitable for drying food for preservation and also for the fertilizer for storage. Next.
Next, industrial equipment used for drying purpose are spray dryer and freeze dryer. Spray dryer is used to convert liquid form to powder, and it is widely used in milk powder production. The advantages of spray dryer are it gives better quality control, short drying time, can handle highly heat-sensitive material, and also minimum overall flavor loss in food industry. The disadvantages of spray dryer are high capital and overhead costs. The spray dryer are bulky and large heat loss, and cleaning is time consuming. Next is a freeze dryer. Freeze dryer is used to remove solvent from material. The advantages of freeze dryer are food can be stored in long period of time, while the disadvantages of freeze dryer are process consume a lot of time and energy. Industrial application for freeze dryer are food industry, in pharmaceutical, and also taxidermy. That's all. So we should open for Q&A session, right?
So for my part, any question?
I want to ask Lisin, what is the purpose of drying in industrial sector?
Okay.
If can give the purpose other than stated in the slide.
Okay, so I give you some example. For example, in wastewater treatment industry, drying of sewage sludge from wastewater is needed so that can achieve pathogen kills as the pathogens can only tolerate a certain level of dryness level. So another for the pharmaceutical industry, drying process also needed is to eliminate moisture which may lead to the decrease for drug stability and also to prepare granules for tablet or capsule. Okay, this is for your question. Okay, next, I would like to ask Ziqi. So Ziqi, I would like to ask you how to plot a drying rate curve.
Oh, okay. For the drying rate curve, the free moisture content is plotted on the x-axis and the drying rate is plotted on the y-axis. The curve is called the drying rate curve, and it represents different changes occurring during drying, where AB is the constant rate period, and BC is the first falling rate period, and CD is the second falling rate period. The free moisture content at the end of the constant rate period is known as the critical moisture content. That's the answer for the question. And we move to the next part. I would like to ask AMIRA for the difference between decision and refrigerant dehumidifier. I would like to ask AMIRA for the importance of falling rate drying in industrial application.
Falling rate drying is important in production of dry agricultural product, where it inhibits any possible microorganism activity in agricultural food by ensuring the food moisture content has been reduced to a certain limit. That is my answer for your question. Next, I have a question for XING. What is the difference between the drum dryer and rotary dryer?
Alright, as I mentioned that the drum dryer and rotary dryer have the same working principle, but there's some difference between them. Rotary dryer is suitable for drying metal, non-metallic materials, and also clay in cement industry. But for drum dryer, it's more suitable for fertilizers, sand, kaolin, and also clay. Okay, this is my answer. So I would like to ask Nadia, may I know how does the freeze dryer work?
Okay, so freeze dryer works in three phases. So first phases is known as freezing phase. In this phase, freeze dryer cools the material below its triple point to ensure that sublimation will occur. And the second phase is known as primary drying or sublimation phase. In this phase, the pressure is lower and heat is added to the material in order for the water to sublimate. The freeze dryers, cold denser, provide a surface for water vapor to adhere and solidify, while the condenser will protect the vacuum pump from water vapor. And last phase is known as secondary drying or adsorption phase. During this phase, the ionically bound water molecules are removed, and this is done by raising the temperature higher than in the primary drying phase. That's all.
Okay, so that's all from Group 5 for the presentation of topic drying. Thank you.